Did you know that we have two types of speed? How we can differentiate between the two types of the speed? Actually, if we suppose that the path of an object is clear, obstacles or any traffic, so the object will move in regular speed. So when an object change its position, so we can say that the object move. But when this object move in regular speed, when it move at equal distance at equal periods of time. So for example, we have this car. This car move for 100 meter in 10 seconds. Then it moved to another 100 meter for another 10 seconds. And go on for 100 meter in 10 seconds. In this case, we can say that the car or this object move at regular speed, that it change its position by equal distance. We have 100 and 100 and another 100 at equal periods of time. What is the periods of time? The 10 second consider as period of time, and the 10 for the second distance, and the third time for the third distance. So the regular speed, when the object it change its position, change its location by equal distance at equal periods of time. What about the irregular speed? Of course, the object change its position, but in this case by unequal distance. We have this car B move for 100 meter. So the 100 meter consider the distance, the first distance, and then it move for 120 meter. Then it decrease its distance for 80 meter. So the distance unequal. So the object or the car move for unequal distance at equal periods of time. So the irregular speed can be defined as the change in the position of the object by unequal distance at equal periods of time. And also we have the change of an object position by equal distance at equal distance. For example, then 100 meter, then another 100 meter. By unequal time or unequal periods of time. We have 10 seconds, then we have 8, and then we have 12. So the definition of irregular speed, we can change the unequal distance by equal distance, and can change the unequal period of time by equal periods of time. So the definition all in one, we have the change of position by unequal distance at equal periods of time, or the change of the position by equal distance at equal periods of time. But how we can calculate the regular speed? The regular speed is uniform speed. So we can measure or calculate the regular speed by the original law that the distance divide the time. But what about the irregular speed? Irregular speed can be measured by the average speed. What is the average speed? When we get the total distance. The total distance consider as 100, 120 and 80. That can divided by the total time. Where is the total time? 1, 10 second, 2, 10 second, 3, 10 second. So we have total distance 100, 120 and 80. Divide the 10 and 10 and 10 seconds. But what in case of if the body move at regular speed? When the object move in regular speed, so we haven't average speed. One more time, we said before that the regular speed can be measured by the original speed that gets by the distance divided the time. What about the irregular? By the average. When the object move at regular speed, so we haven't the average speed, so it equal by the same law that can measure the speed. So we have the regular speed and the average speed can be measured by distance divided time. When the object move at regular speed at regular motion. If you're gonna look at the figure, this figure represent this boy move from A to B. So it covers distance at periods of time. How we can guess the type of motion that this boy can move through these units of time? We can get the solution for this problem by knowing the given. The given in this case, we have this boy move from A to the first or the end of the first distance. The first distance 1 meter that covered in 1 second. The second distance that represent the difference between the 3 meter and the first 1 meter. So 3 minus 1 equal 2 meter. And the time for the second distance 2 seconds. What about the third distance? The third distance can be 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3. So it's 1 meter that covered through 1 second. The final distance that can be calculated by 7 minus 4. So it's 3 meters covered by 3 seconds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 speeds that can be measured by 4 distance divide 4 units of time. So the regular speed law by V1 for the first distance, V2 for the second distance, V3 for the third distance, and the final for the V4. In the first distance, we can measure it by V1 equals D1. What is the D1? The D1 is the first distance. That 1 meter. Divide the first time, 1 second. So distance 1 divide the time 1 second equal 1 for the first speed. The first speed equal 1 meter per second. The second speed, yes, 3 minus 1 equal 2 meters. So the difference between the first end for the first speed and the second end for the second speed equals 3 minus 1. 2 divide 2. 2 divide 2 equals 1 again. So the first speed equal 1. The first speed equal 1 and the second speed equal 1, 2. The third speed, by calculated the D3 equals the difference between the second or the end of the second speed and the end of the third speed. 4 minus 3 equal 1. So we have 1 divide the 1 second that covered through equals 1 again. The final distance covered through 3 seconds equals 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 equal 3. 3 divide the 3 equal 1 again. So we can conclude that the V1 equal V2 equal V3 equal V4. So it equals for the speeds. It's the speed of this boy that cover through distance over times equals 1. So it's regular speed.